that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls that are non-conforming friends, welcome to Rise of the Drow. We're playing a different game today. Let's do this.
Frankie, thanks for hosting this. I'm Nick, I'll be the DM of the game, and we're gonna get started right where we left off last time. You guys are in Ethan's Hold. You've just basically acquired the blood pits from Tharks Darkin after killing him, and almost killing Dareth Salen, who was saved just at the last moment by the Overlord of Vethin's Hold. He asked you to spare him as he is a very important part of the business of Vethin's Hold, at least according to the Overlord. He's also instructed you guys to open up the blood pits as soon as possible, meaning that since you're planning on leaving Vethin's Hold in the next couple of days, if not sooner, you decided that you'll use some of your contacts with a combination of Quandrit and leave them behind. Timothy Swiftquill, who you met last session and made quick friends with, and of course Azur, who is Kandrix's girlfriend, we'll say. At least that's what Kandrix thinks. You guys are finishing up your drinks. You've agreed to give the Overlord 25% of the profits out of the blood pits. And, well, I'll turn it over to you guys. What would you like to do with the rest of your time in Vethin's Hold?
Let's see.
I hate to say it, but does anybody need to go shopping? Is everybody good on gear?
You do know that Vethin's Hold has a plethora of magic items available. That is not the case in every place you go. Could be a good place to stock up on things you may need for the future. And given that you guys recently broke up that card game, you're flush with cash.
Yes, we are.
I would like to buy some things for Ethlyn, but I have not looked at anything to shop for, so.
Yeah, we kind of didn't realize how much we really had until I updated our purse. Sorry, guys. This bag's
So this
getting
is
kind of
fine.
heavy.
What we can do is this can be something that you say you've gone shopping in Vethin's Hold, and throughout the week, if you see a magic item or two you'd like, discuss it with the group, figure out what you guys are buying. You know the prices. We're using the Sane Magical Prices list, so that won't be hard for you to figure out. Then that way, if you can't find something right away, we don't have to spend a lot of time doing the shopping portion. We can just say that you've done that.
Yeah, I'll definitely go shopping. I mean, if nothing else, I'll get like healing potions and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely want to do the shopping.
So it's
I
decided
just
that...
figured we needed some portions.
Okay. So it's decided that Salen's gonna go with the Overlord and his guard. But he leaves the dwarf with you. He says, I have no business with this dwarf. And, Salen doesn't have any business with him any longer either. He's yours to do whatever you want with.
Being the dead
And
dwarf.
they all leave. This dwarf is not dead. He was rendered unconscious last session, and that was the one that Ursa was basically muscling around and moving around the room and trying to, secure the prisoner, more or less.
Hey, Swiftquill, is this guy here the one who thinks he can own humans?
Well, technically one of few of us in the game, but no, that was Salen.
Right, but he thinks he owns some of you?
He gets, like, for the first time, cracks a little smile in the corner of his mouth, and he says, I bet he doesn't think that anymore.
Is this guy conscious?
Yeah.
I look at him. Well, buddy, do you think that?
He's looking at the floorboards, but then he does meet Nadri's gaze, and he says, oh, I don't think that. I think that by the looks of it, right about now, you own me.
I'm
First-
probably gonna look over to Balrin for, I guess, a moral compass kind of time.
You know,
Uh,
Balrin is not the only paladin in this party. Ursa, what should we do with him?
Art just goes back to his beer.
That's not fair. I've been in Paladin for like 15 minutes.
I know, that's why you're more likely to choose what I want the outcome to be.
You think the Ancients Paladin is more likely to choose than the Vengeance Paladin?
Listen, Balrin's got a soft spot in his heart.
Ursa don't.
I know.
Soft spot in my heart for not slavery.
No, for killing unarmed people who aren't defending themselves.
Oh, perfect. If that's the case, I slide the guy a dagger so he's no longer unarmed.
And as soon as he
then look
puts
at
it in his
Balrin.
hands, I breath weapon his face.
He's not gonna take the dagger, guys. He's gonna look at the dagger and look at Ursa with a very like odd look, and he's gonna look right back at Balrin. And you may remember this Balrin a few times, and he does it again. He looks down at Balrin's hammer, and he looks back up at Balrin. He looks over at Ursa, and he goes, "I'm not taking the dagger."
I cast
You got
command, and my command
Balrin.
word is wield.
Balrin,
What does he have to roll?
A wisdom
Defense,
save,
wisdom.
DC 17.
Oh, I did not want to make this a private roll. It's an 11. It's a failure.
He does pick that dagger up. Ursa?
So Ursa holds the dagger out, holds it by the tip, pommel towards him, and Nadri gives the command word, and he begins reaching for it, and he goes, "What is this? I don't want this dagger. What?" And now he's holding the dagger, the tip facing ceiling, just holding it in front of his face like this, protesting that he has it, but he still has it.
Balrin sees all this and he quaffs his beer and he stands up and he walks over. Hang on. I'm not saying don't kill him. I'm saying just give me a second, all right? I looked down at him. I was like, keep looking at my hammer. Why?
Because I know that hammer.
How do you know this hammer?
It's a very famous hammer. The hammer that belongs to the Merrycloak clan.
It is indeed.
So if you have it, it means either you've slain one of them, or you are one of them.
I know I had a very clever disguise when we first came into this bar, and my name was my name was Renball. But in reality, my name is Balrin Merrycloak, and I am the son of the famous Eric and Mizrael Merrycloak.
And you see a look of concern kind of wash over his face, and then he like quickly tries to go stone-faced again. He goes, "Oh, are you the lost son?"
No, who are you?
You got a brother?
I told you my name. My name's Aldous Granite-Tooth.
And where are you from, Aldous?
Stoneholm.
Yes. There was a few years where I was wayward.
Indeed there were. Indeed there were. Yet here you are before us. So what did happen?
Oh,
it true? That everybody was slain? I suppose not.
Everybody except, you know what? I don't know you, and I don't think we necessarily need to get into that story right now. I survived. Sometimes wish I hadn't, but we have moved past that.
Quick pause. You know this family name, but yeah, you don't know this individual in particular. If you remember last time, I had you roll a knowledge history for this.
Okay, that's right. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I'm just kind of giving you that background info. You know the family name, but this person in particular, you're not familiar with him individually. You know the family to be mostly a merchant family.
So how did the son of a simple merchant family end up here in Vethin's Hold?
There's only so much gold that can be made among the dwarves in Stoneholm.
It's
And their
foundry-
attitude
it's
towards
foundry
outsiders
based,
is
Leland, but I think this is forged.
Gold at
PvP.
best. So I've come here
But yeah, it uses the foundry
make even
code,
more
I'm
money.
pretty sure.
to do things that I couldn't do in Stoneholm.
Like what?
Oh, that was
Visit the
Bob,
blood pits.
not Leland. Sorry, got you guys mixed up.
Visit?
That's because you don't have a real username. Bob.
Yeah.
You
Watch
need
a
to
fight.
get one.
Gamble a bit. Have a drink. And through time, I got to know Salen. Because he was constantly at the pits, betting money. Obsessive gambler, that man. So then he invited me here. Boneyard. Where he gambles in a different way. Using cards and dice.
How did a simple merchant or someone from a simple merchant family get enough money to gamble in this game?
You know what forgery is, don't you?
I've heard the word, but I can't spell it.
It's where you take something that you yourself didn't make, but you put your mark on it. Or maybe put a different mark on it. A more reputable mark. A more famous mark. Something that'll fetch more money for an item. That type of thing.
You're making it real hard for me to root for you and protect you here, brother.
He says, I'm being honest.
Is he insight check?
Okay.
$19?
I mean, he seems pretty persuasive. He seems like he's telling you the truth. You do feel like maybe there's something he's not saying. But you don't feel like anything he told you was an outright lie. Maybe like a darker shade of the truth, but doesn't seem like anything he's gone and said is like totally bogus.
So what's your plan going forward if we allow you to live?
Well, really, I'm gonna have a hard time going back to Stoneholm, given that I've kind of burned a few bridges there.
Yeah, Cook is
Imagine
in
I'll
this
stick
game.
around here and
Cook plays
try to make the best
Ursa,
of what I can.
the
Start a new racket,
Eladrin
join in another racket,
barbarian.
see what coin I have left after this whole situation.
All right, well, best luck with all that. And Ballin turns around and
Cook
he taps
can't.
Nadri on the shoulder.
Unfortunately,
He's
I
like,
stream the
"Uh,
BPT.
I don't know
of
him."
Cook,
and
so
I go back
have
behind the
control
bar and
of Cook's
pour myself another
token.
beer.
Timothy stands aside as Balrin moves himself behind the bar.
I'm gonna look at Nadri.
How long does command last?
It's just a turn, so he could drop it.
Okay, so yeah, he drops the dagger, the point of it sticks into the floor between his feet.
Okay. So we may have been rushing. That was a great story. And I apologize for the way I spoke before. I apologize that I made these threats to hurt you. That was very selfish of me, and I think these people here have something that they would like to say or do to you, and I'm willing to give them any implements that they would like to, repay you with.
This could be our first match.
All the slaves armed to the teeth, and you naked with a wooden sword. I like that idea, Airden.
Yeah, I think we could make some money off this one.
Can I pull nature to the side?
Yeah.
Of course.
Who, before I pull Nature to the side, who is our coin purse? Is it Nature or
Yes.
Frankie? Have you just been keeping track? Okay. So
I'm
I want
the
to pull
least
Nature
likely
off
to
the
steal
side.
it. Money means nothing to me. I'm a druid.
Yeah, I've got fuck all use for money, really. I just want to pull Nature off to the side and just talk to him, just so nobody else can hear.
All right, so you
Um,
guys gather over there, kind of by yourselves, while Edmund walks with the dwarf kind of closer to the bar, just to make sure he stays close to the party members and whatnot. Yeah, there you go.
What's up?
Even how many of these guys are there? Like 12?
I wasn't
There's
counting.
the chance. Yeah, there's a few, and my fingers only go so high I can't count that much. But I'd rather not a single one of these people who were enslaved die. There's always the chance that one of them could.
Well, we wouldn't force them in. They're not our slaves. I was simply offering. If they said no, I'll burn his face off right
You're
now.
misunderstanding. You're misunderstanding. Let's let these guys go. And I don't know, maybe set them up a little bit. I'm not saying make them rich, but if we could give them something to set them up, I think I'd rather that than them fight in the arena. The arena also offers animal fights.
DM Fiat, the arena offers whatever you want it to from this point on. You guys own it, so you can change some of those rules around if you'd like to, if you don't like some of the ideas of what they were doing there. The other thing too, again, just more DM stuff, but you might need employees to like sell concessions and clean up the place and this and that. If you're talking about setting people up, you give them a fish, you feed them for a day, but you teach them to fish, you feed them for life type of thing.
If we could, how set are you on killing him?
I have a special place in my heart for slavers.
From one bloodlusted anti-slaver to another, how would you feel about setting him up with what was, I believe, a chimera was on the table in the pits?
I embarrassed those chimeras. I beat them in one round. I don't think they're feeding them right here.
I'm feeling a Dragloth. Just putting that out there.
I got this.
I
understand what
I
you're saying.
don't want
You don't
to-
want them to die. And
Oh, don't use the Dragloth.
completely
okay.
understood. So what we'll do is we will have them, and we'll put him in shackles, and I'll slice his Achilles. Whatever we got to do.
I just don't know how comfortable I am with us. Let's set these people up.
Fine,
Let's
fine.
do
We'll do it
that.
your way.
Let's give them some jobs. But I've got no need for vengeance against this man named Mike. I'm still okay with leaving them in the room with him for 5 or 6 minutes.
Why even do it that way? Here's what we'll do. I'll cast hold person on him, and they could just line up each of them and kick him or punch him or something real quick, and then we'll give them jobs.
That is a fine middle. And I reach my hand out towards Nathan.
Shakes the hand. Pleasure doing business.
Oh, just some regular business folks now. Handshakes on everything. Look at yous.
We can just narrative all of the slaves getting a punch on him if you want.
Yeah, and since they're slaves no longer, the humans line up one by one, and yeah, I'll take a free shot at them. Why not? They feel pretty, pretty hurt about what they had done to him, and hey, they're gonna do it. They're gonna take their free shot at vengeance. Except for Timothy, he just says no. So I don't need that. You've given me is better than the feeling I would get from slapping this old dwarf around. I don't care about that.
I'm fine with this outcome.
So
What are
Mike
we doing
has Mike has two characters. Mike is playing a Dragonborn
Guys,
fighter and a
All right,
Oh, I
so
hate to be
a
the
half-elf monk.
voice of
Alyssa
getting us
is a
moving again,
drow
but there is that whole thing with the
sorceress.
drow priestesses and the ceremony that we've been trying to stop. That might be a good next step.
I remember that.
We were halfway on our way to Stoneholm to try to rally support there before we had the contract, which was a pitiful contract put out on us, and came back here and took care of it. Probably about time to start heading that direction again. Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, you gotta, Ursa's gotta meet your mom.
As soon as you say that, Balrin, like, you can see the blush through his beard. Okay, well, we can hang out a little bit longer if we need to.
No, let's go.
Ursa gets super excited. She's down. Ursa has never had a lover of any kind. She's super excited for this. Are we all heading out?
Guys, there's something I gotta do. I'll catch up with you in a little bit. And
Is that
walks out
Ethlyn?
the door. Yeah. Ethlyn walks out the door.
Insight check. Fuck was that all about?
Try to separate. He's gonna go that way.
19 again.
Okay.
So, Mike, the way I usually do this is if the person I'm using is lying, I'll use deception. If they're not, I'll use persuasion. And if I beat the insight check, I don't have to reveal whatever person who's rolling it wants to know. But if I don't, then I kind of do.
Okay.
Like, you don't have to tell him your life story, but if he's trying to figure out, why you're leaving, like, again, you don't have to tell him exactly why, but you at least have to say, like, see, like, concern on Ethlyn's face or something like that. You got to give him something.
Ethlyn's
Yeah.
been like real moody lately, so yeah, that would instantly concern me.
Ethlyn, he's been drinking. He's a little wobbly on his way out.
Okay.
But you can tell that there's serious conflict going on in his head. And he's been out of sorts for a while. Like, he hasn't been the focused monk that you guys met on the surface. And he's really going through something in his head. You can try to ask him about it if you want.
I would follow him out because I obviously felt from the way you said that something was up. I think this is the door, by the way. Ethlyn, over here.
Yeah, Ethlyn has been drinking because that's the door over that way.
Nadri helps you get out, get you over
Where's
the
our-
alley, and he's gonna be like, "Hey, man, what the fuck's going on?"
Where's our link at? I haven't clicked on it. I'm still looking at everybody's beautiful faces.
Oh, it's right over in the chat we were just using to the right of all of our pictures, like the upper right corner where it
Of the
says
chat
show
bubble?
chat. Yeah, it says show
Is it the
chat.
Forge
There's
VPT?
that's it.
Ethlin, he can tell Nadri's tailing him. He doesn't really care, and he's like, I need to find some water. So he's gonna find the largest natural source of water, in the area.
Maybe about a block and a half down, you find a plaza that has a fountain. The water looks kind of a little bit brown tinged, to be honest with you, but you've seen worse water. You've seen better. You've seen worse.
Can I druid craft and clean it up?
Certainly.
I can tell.
Like
these
right as
zombies-
Athlin's about to cup his hands under this dirty water, Nadri's like, "Yeah, let's just let's make sure that that's not fetid water real quick."
Yeah.
Ethlin grabs the chain from his neck that has that crystal, which is his spiritual, his spell locus for communing with the god of peace, the water god. And he breaks it off and he holds it over the water. He says, "I'm done."
What?
Nadri, I'm not a good cleric. I don't even know why I tried this. I don't even know what I'm doing. I just
Are you
I'm gonna
kidding
go
me?
back
We're
to
kicking
being
ass
mercenary.
down here. We just took over this damn town.
Yeah, and I'd kick even more ass if I didn't have this around my neck. I couldn't help Balrin when he was in trouble. I didn't bring peace when we were in that Ahun village. I felt good killing those people. I felt good in that tavern smashing faces. This god's not for me.
That's what this is? Look,
I
man,
spent
I don't know if you know this or not, but the gods, they don't really give a fuck about us unless it suits them. They're just really old, really powerful dicks. So you shouldn't let this weigh on your heart so much.
You're right. Not anymore.
Yeah,
And he
man.
drops the necklace in the water.
You know what? Me and you, we're gonna find a nice little rocky overlook tonight. You're gonna eat some of these mushrooms with me, man, and I can show you the secrets of the universe.
That sounds wonderful. Drops the necklace in the water and then walks back to the tavern.
All right. As the two of you stumble back in, oops, sorry if there's two copies of you. I went and moved you guys. Just reload the page and there will just be one copy. And I should say, as Ethlin stumbles back in and Nadri kind of, just normally walks in because Nadri isn't as drunk. You guys can
Nature's
see.
really afraid of picking up the wrong mug because at this point he's lost which one it is.
There's an ominous mug all the way at the end right here, actually right in front of Quandrit where he's sitting.
No.
Looks like it's full and has not been touched for the whole night so far.
Aura's back behind the bar. It's like, hey, whose beer is this?
Yeah, don't drink that. Don't
It's
drink
like
that.
Quandrit goes like this. He says, "I'm done for the night. Had too many.
Done
One
for
is
the
too
night. What
many."
the hell does done for the night mean? Is Balrin? He sees Nader. He's like, no, I'm not. Okay, this must be the contaminated one.
I just imagine the scene going down where like 3 or 4 times Balrin almost sips it and then something interrupts him and then he finally just sets it down. It's like, I guess I don't need a beer after all.
Yeah.
And as you guys come back into the bar, you do see that Azure has come to the bar and she's sat next to Kandrix, and the two of them are close together, and she whispers something to Kandrix, and then she kind of like looks down at herself and then looks back at Kandrix.
Oh.
Kendrick's-
Oh.
Kendrick
What?
stares at her.
What?
Oh my god! Kendricks looks at her, looks down, looks at her, and then just leans back in his stool and just crashes to the ground. Completely out.
Oh, this is perfect.
And
Well,
Azura explains to you guys that she is with Egg, and she has asked Kandrix to stay behind and help her in Vethin's Hold while she and Timothy and Quandrit run the blood pits together.
Athlin looks down at Kandrix, looks at Azura, and just starts to laugh maniacally, just like he can't even right now. He's just laughing really, really hard.
Nadri's gonna run over to the table and start rolling up cigars.
Barin's going to. Can I do like, I don't know, like a nature check, I guess, to see if I know what the gestation period on Dragonborns are, to start doing the math to see if it's even possible that it's Kandrix's
Well,
kid.
it's either that or the first time he came through.
Eternity.
Remember, he came through like a couple weeks ago. So it could have
Yeah,
been
he
that
did.
Yeah,
one.
you kind of think about it, and you're thinking like, yeah, the timeline seems to make sense.
All right. So he's like, oh well, this is obviously Kandrix wants a beer, and he looks at the counter. He's like, which one was the bad one? I should just get him a new one. He goes, pours a new beer and takes it over.
Right. Like, at this point, you guys should just dump out anything
Yeah.
that's on the bar counter.
Exactly.
Just go fresh.
Kandrix starts to come to, and like Azura's helping him like up and like rubbing his shoulders, and Kandrix just like points at Timothy, and then slams his gauntlet on the bar, and like Timothy knows, he grabs him a beer.
Yes, he does.
Nadri hands you a freshly rolled cigar. Congratulations, buddy! Now remember, our parents, the naming conventions were just awful. But as your future child's god uncle, I would like to just suggest that Nadri is a very powerful and wise sounding name.
Kandrix looks at him, grunts, takes this cigar, and just like freaking Hades from Hercules, just one long drag, and the whole cigar just deteriorates in his mouth as he just takes in one giant breath.
Hell yeah.
Irden's probably gonna walk up to Kandrix and kind of like. She's much shorter than him, so it's probably gonna look odd. She's gonna kind of grab his shirt so he like kind of like comes down to her size. It says, "Your one job is to take care of her. That's it. Don't fuck it up. Don't be a wimp. Do that. Fall on the floor shit. No, your job is to take care of her." I don't know about any other culture. Females matter more.
Kandrix kind of grunts and like bows his head down and nods his head up and down.
Everybody's
She'll nod and
distracted,
kind of
right?
sit back.
Yeah, everybody's distracted right now.
Sweet. What do we do with our captive?
I mean, he's just pretty much here. There's enough of you to where I would imagine if he did anything, you could quickly, pounce on him.
I would like to sneak over to him while everybody's distracted with the new baby news. And cards on the table. This is an intimidation check.
Okay.
I would like to whisper in his ear that if his name and the word slave are ever mentioned in a sentence near me, he's a dead man.
Okay, roll me an intimidation check.
Hell yeah, 23.
You see the cold look of recognition kind of wash over his face, and he nods, but he doesn't say anything. He also doesn't turn his head to look at you just over his shoulder. He just nods and continues staring straight forward.
Okay, and then I'm gonna go up and slap our new daddy on the back and tell him congratulations.
Balrin.
Kendricks grunts, looks at her, takes his hand, puts it on her shoulder, and kind of gives it a squeeze and a shake.
Hey, Balrin.
So, how long do you think it'll take before the child is old enough to go fight the drow with us? What, maybe like a
a-
couple weeks, a month, 2 months?
I mean, they
What-
probably practically hatch walking already.
Like a God of War situation. Kratos and his kid.
All right, Adri, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I've never packed that much of my special grass into a cigar before. Kendricks just took that all down in one breath. I'm a little bit
Ooh.
worried about what's gonna happen in about 20 minutes.
Alrin like goes upstairs. Are there like bedrooms upstairs in this tavern?
Not really. What you see is what you get with this one. It's one
Okay.
floor, and storage is pretty much behind the bar. There's no bedrooms. There's a couple of extra rooms, including that office.
Balrin just grabs one of the dead bodies and he puts it behind Kendrick's chair, so if he falls, he doesn't fall right on the floor.
That's
Oh.
friendship right there.
I vote we get a night of sleep and hit the road.
Sounds good to me.
Ethlyn says,
Sure.
Azura, invite me to the shower, and then just starts busting out laughing again.
Ethelyn, you're gonna need a new best Dragonborn friend on the road, and he's here.
Big boots to
Ursa
fill
looks a
an
little
Adrian, but
hurt.
I appreciate that.
Ursa looks a little hurt when you say the words best and friend that close together.
I said Dragonborn friend. I was very specific.
Alrin walks up to Ursa. Hey, don't worry. I got you.
She blushes a bit, I think, at that. And there's no beard to hide it, so everybody sees that. Let's go hit a bed and breakfast, guys.
The Beholden Tavern is the place to be for that, but you do still have all this granite stone here. What's the plan with the dwarf?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
he's going to the pits. I mean,
I'm fine with that.
Okay, as you can imagine, there are many cells in the pits, and he's thrown into one of the cells, locked up, and left there. At least for the time being.
Azure, make sure he's the first fight. He gets a wooden sword and whatever you want to throw against him. Really give him a good show.
Alright. And I guess that would bring you guys back to the Beholden Tavern again, where you would be settling in for a night.
Oh,
Pause
and
the
first
scene here.
first month's wages for you guys, and I give them each 25 gold.
So you've got 8 people times 25 is 200 gold. So you can subtract that from your sheet.
Will do.
Oh, we have overhead now.
Alright. You guys each head back to the Beholden Tavern. Room up whatever way you want to room up. The rooms are taken care of by the Overlord for tonight and however long you decide to stay. And yeah, after that, if you guys know some of the magic items you want to buy, you can subtract the gold from the loot sheet and add those to your character sheets as long as you all can agree on that stuff. And then whatever else you're not sure of now, we can figure out throughout the week and just say you bought it while you were still here.
I
Guys, I
saw
post
my
up.
purchases.
Yeah, nobody's
You
got any
guys good
problem
with
with
that?
you having that stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
Cool.
I need to look. so I will have to say I shopped.
Yeah.
Sure, no problem.
I'm at the same
Cook,
way.
you said you wanted to get some
Actually, I
healing
do want to
potions, I
say
believe. Sorry, go ahead.
I do want to say specifically that Nadri buys a loot.
Ooh.
Cool.
All right,
One thing we don't
Adri
have.
now has a loot.
Hey,
And
Mike,
just
I,
so
What's your
just-
performance bonus? Go ahead, Mike.
Just so you guys are tracking that whole thing with Ethlin dropping his foci in the water, because he's gonna head out. He is going full monk and dropping all cleric stuff. So just FYI.
okay. Hey, I was gonna
Strike?
say, Mike,
Did you say?
just
About Max first, and then we'll go to Cook.
sorry about that. I was gonna say, Mike, just looking at the stuff you want to buy, I do think all three of those require attunement. So if you've already got some other stuff attuned, you might have to make some choices.
You are correct, sir. Let me check. Okay, I'll have to look at some other stuff then, because I really like my choices right now. So let me look at things that don't require it.
And what were you gonna say, Cook?
No, all Ursa heard was, "Hey guys, I want to be able to stunning strike people." She's okay with that.
Nick, I'm about to send you an item, and if it doesn't exist on Sanes, so I just want to see if what's
Okay.
fair in your mind.
Yeah, just to let you guys know too, Mike had messaged me separately and just said, hey, I kind of tried this cleric thing with Ethlin. I'm not liking it so much. Do you mind if I just switch him to all monk? Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I'm
I
definitely.
would
not
rather
upset
somebody
about that.
change their character up than be stuck with something that they weren't totally happy with after trying it.
Yeah, you let me do it, so
Appreciate it.
You've offered it to me twice, and I'm just like, nah, Barbarian's my favorite class.
Yeah, fine.
Barbarian.
I've just
Paladin,
been
I
there
think I'm
before where
pretty
I'm
good
playing a
about that.
character that I'm not totally happy with, and it's like, sometimes it's like if I could just change like one or two things, I'd be so much happier here. I'd rather just do that and have somebody be happy with their character.
This actually works out really great because if he says no on the cleric, I was gonna try to do the life domain cleric, like multi-class into that one, because it complements so well with the whole thing plus illustrate and all that. So this will actually, I think, work for the way Irden wants to go.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do Cloak of the Bat, and I'll see if there's anything that doesn't require attunement.
you
for,
do know with the Cloak of the Bat the caveat to the flying with that, right?
Yeah, he has to be
Holding
low light.
on to it and holding on
Yeah.
to it.
Alfred, we're the bad people.
I had that on my rogue and I didn't realize that. I was like, oh, this looks cool, I want it. And then my DM's like, well, you gotta hold it out like Batman in the 1989 movie, The Batman.
I'll do the voice. I don't care. It's a thing.
That's awesome though. Let me get back to you on a price for that. I don't really see like a huge issue with having the item. Just
I
let me
have half
figure
of
out-
those resistances already anyways, so I didn't think it was breaking it.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm kind of reading over it, and I'm like, wow, I wonder why this is like an item that they don't have like a price for. Maybe because you can use it to impose disadvantage.
No, I think that
don't
that's
know.
because this item is post that Sane. That Sane's kind of outdated. And this
Oh,
item's
okay.
from one of the new books.
Got it. That makes sense. Because yeah, it specifically says you can only cast one of the spells per day. So it's like, oh, that's quite limited.
No, you
You
can
know,
cast
like right
all,
there.
or you can use an action to cast one. You can cast all of those spells once a day. That's what it is.
Oh, either way though, I mean, it wasn't something where I read it and it jumped out to me like, oh man, how am I gonna get around having this in the game?
Right?
So yeah, let me just come to a price with you on that sometime in the next week.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool.
Are you cool with me adding it for now?
Yeah, just do whatever you have to do for attunement slots. If it
Already
actually
does
requires
go-
it, I didn't even check.
Bye bye, Jimicine.
Barin does head out, and he finds like the equivalent of a pawn shop, and he tries to find like a gold ring with a big old sapphire on it. Just a
Aww.
mundane
Ooh.
one.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah, I'll
you
say
haven't asked, which is completely irresponsible of you. Ursa's favorite color is green.
Topaz, not a sapphire.
Okay.
Topaz is yellow. Whatever. The emerald.
Yeah,
There's
emerald
a
is green.
feat or an
There we go.
item that actually
I know
does
things.
give you 5 attunement slots. I can't
Yes, you
remember
do.
what it is.
You find a ring that is gold, and the entire band of the ring is inlaid with familiar with Princess Cut? It's the square shaped cut.
I am, yes.
You see emeralds with those plenty. So yeah, the whole thing all around the band is inlaid with Princess Cut emeralds. And the shop owner pulls a stogie out of his mouth and goes, "Yeah, that'll be about 250 gold there."
Sorry. Hang on, I need a second.
It is a feat.
Gotta walk
There is
in
an
here.
extra attunement feat.
Yeah, right.
It gives
You
you an
wanna buy a
extra attunement
sundial?
slot for every
Oh,
stat you have
Alright,
that is
very
good.
20 or
Step into
higher.
Hercules reference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm on a bend here.
Barin takes out his 250 gold and he sets it on the counter. He's like, and just where are you from, friend, with that very interesting accent?
He goes, and spits on the ground. He goes, "I'm from Mokpa." Mokpa is the capital of Aventur, which is the continent that you're on.
All right.
So like
all
the
right.
New York City of the area.
The
Well,
big eyes.
appreciate
Big Apple, Mokpa.
Barin just kind of picks up the ring and goes, all right, cool. He turns around and walks out. He puts it in his bag.
I really want to buy some mounts. Like we do a lot of walking. I feel like we need some vehicular
had-
help here.
We had beetles and we were getting saddles for them, and then we left them in that city that got run.
They were in Embla when the drow attacked it.
Never went back to look to see if they were
I mean, in theory, they might still be there. Another
Just assume
issue,
the
though,
drow
with
ate 'em.
mounts is that sometimes you guys are in really tight places. Like, it would be good to have something that can climb and, go on vertical surfaces and stuff like
feat
that. But
actually
there are times,
exists.
too,
It's
where
called extra
you're in a spot
attunement.
where a large-sized creature would, really have to squeeze through. Not saying you can't
Ursa
do it.
would
It's
also
really a
rather
late
not have a
game
mount,
feat. That way you
considering
actually
she's
use
almost
your
8 feet
ASIs
tall.
to get your stats up to 20. And get those
Frankie, we
extra
should
It is
do
attunement slots.
mount-sized.
Frankie, what?
No, I saw your mouth moving, but I couldn't hear you.
Oh, I was talking to the stream. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, okay.
He's doing his magic, talking to the stream and not us.
Ah,
My man has voiceover.
It's
Oh,
called
yeah.
Push to Talk, Max, and we've actually had it on board Navy vessels since like the late 30s.
Okay, boomer.
The army has it. We just can't get it to work.
You're right.
You can push or you can talk, but you cannot do both.
Any station on this net. Radio check over.
All right, and the night goes on. You guys are fully rested, and the
Ooh,
next
mark
day
that.
you are ready to head out of Vethin's Hold. Where are you headed
Yay,
back to?
spell slots.
Stoneholm.
Yeah, Stone.
Okay, so you can go to Stoneholm or you can go to Embla pretty much. Those are the kind of two safe havens that you have back in the direction that you're going.
We're gonna go meet Mom.
We're also trying to do more than meet Mom.
Oh yeah,
But
like
that
get
is
an army and
Ursa's-
shit.
Once again,
That is
guys,
Ursa's primary objective.
there's this city called Holoth. In this
There's
city,
a
there are
reason why
these
you
drow
only
that
have
are
3
having
slots.
a very
Magic
bad
items
ceremony
break
that's going to
D&D.
kill a lot of people, right? The whole reason we're doing this, you remember?
I'm from there.
Remind me again.
It's like, ugh.
I know more than the most. It's my fucking family.
What's Bar's
Bearded.
intelligence for?
Irden, what was going on with that Q dweeb? Did you hang out with him, or what's going on there?
10 is the answer you're looking for.
Yeah. Just talked. Is it?
Talked. Talked.
Ursa believes you.
That's what the kids are doing these days. Insight check.
Oh, fuck.
Big money, big money. All right, dirty 20.
All right, so Alyssa, given that he rolled a 20, this is where, depending on
A
what you're
fucking
going
10.
to say, okay, as I say, you can either roll deception or persuasion. Deception if you're lying, persuasion if you're not. And then, if you are lying or telling the truth, you make your statement, and then you would tell the person whether or not it's lying or telling the truth, since they
There was-
got better on their insight.
There was talking, probably talking, and then some moaning and grunting, but Go
Flynn, you don't kiss and tell, brother.
You don't have to be vertical to talk.
I'm a virgin, and I know that.
Ursa's
know.
also a virgin.
We know
He
that.
does not know that.
well, as the official ladies' man of the team, I can tell you there was probably a little bit of talking.
Wait, I gotta do a DM interjection into the group roleplay. Isn't Nadri like 40 something?
Yeah, but he was a hermit.
Aquarius.
I'm not judging. I was just like, wait, I thought he was the old guy of the group.
We all saw that movie.
Yes.
Yes, he's the old guy hanging out with a bunch of millennials.
Kelly Clarkson.
Yet he
Not
shares
even.
something in common with
Ursa-
some of them. Shit.
Hey, I'm just.
Ursa's
Nadri
only
is
30.
like that older
Fuck
guy who's
Virginity.
hanging out at the high school party, and like nobody knows who invited him, but he bought the beer, so.
You don't
Still
even
wearing a
know here.
Letterman's jacket.
Wait, how old is Iriden? Like 40, right?
Oh. No. Hold on.
No, Quadrant was like 200 something years old, I think. But
Drow don't crack, okay?
yeah, Drow don't crack. You guys are all quite young, from what I remember.
45.
Especially
Hey
for
guys,
your
just to remind
respective,
everybody,
you know.
we're
And
streaming
Nadri's in
this.
his
We're
60s,
really,
by the way.
we're really ruining our hardcore adventuring killing party rap right now with all the people watching.
We had a rap.
We're doing the same
Aura
thing
thinks we did.
do every week.
I'm here for it, guys.
We've been in a bar for 3 weeks.
Yes, we've been in the same fucking
yeah.
bar for 3 sessions.
That's true.
But
Not
if you
to
look at
mention-
the bar to dead people ratio, we're good. We're good.
Not to mention, you guys have now been on the road for about 4 hours, and it's been pretty quiet. There's really been nothing going on except for you all kind of talking, ribbing each other, maybe a bit of goofing around, stopping to, go to the bathroom or do whatever you need to do here or there. And even another 4 hours goes by. Nothing. Just more caves, crevices, occasionally some ankle or even sometimes up to waist deep water you go through. Probably runoff from the surface, maybe rain. Some of you might miss rain, like Ethlin.
Oh,
Irden, speaking of crevices, you didn't answer my question.
Oh, I didn't?
I
I
immediately
did fail
that
I
check.
immediately. Go ahead. Go ahead. There was a roll.
I had it too, and I forgot what I was gonna respond to. Yes, she's gonna come up with something quippy because that's what I had, and then I lost it. Oh fuck. Oh, there were things done that would blow your mind.
There you go.
They're none of your fucking business.
Oh, okay. Well, that answers that question.
But guess because she's trying to be like all powerful and stuff like that, she'd probably would not come out confident like that. But there would be like hesitation and things like that. Like she's trying to sound big and bad. It didn't come out that way, but that's what she said.
Well,
Ursa's
it could have
gonna
been
have to
that
talk
great
with
because he's
Iriden
not
later.
here now. So
What's Ursa gonna do?
Ursa's definitely gonna talk to Iriden later to figure out how these things work.
So so from what I understand of my culture, we don't put a lot
Ursa's
of
gonna
like,
come out of this with an extreme BDSM fetish. Yeah.
that's what I'm like, oh
That's
god,
what
no.
Normal
Please don't
relations are for the most part. Like, oh, this is what goes on, huh? Okay,
What do
Balrin,
you
get
mean
over
come
here.
out of this with? You're
Please don't talk
insinuating
to
that she
Iriden.
didn't go into it with that. She is a barbarian first.
There you
a
go.
paladin
Yes.
second.
Alright.
My snooze.
Balrin's like, man, I could probably use some advice too. And he looks at Nadri, and he looks at Athlin, and he looks at Nadri.
How tall is
I'm
Barin?
good. I'm good.
He
I'm 4'8".
probably should have asked Kandrix before he left, but I don't know what Kandrix would have
Hey
exactly
guys,
said.
I gotta go
other
back
than-
and talk to Kandrix about some things.
So I'm gonna grab Ursa's arm and I'm like, so
Yeah, right.
first off,
Kandrix is
you
just
need a
making like
safe
hand
word.
signals.
Safe word, nothing. He needs a safe word. That's not what I'm worried about. What I'm worried about are certain positions that aren't going to work.
I can see
They
Ursa
all work
taking
if you're
notes.
trying.
She's illiterate, so she's just like pictographs.
Yeah, Ursa has an 8 intelligence. I would like to remind everybody.
Balrin has a 10. We are gonna have dumb kids.
Nadri's gonna just.
Hopefully, y'all
start
got that
plucking at
charisma
his
score.
loot.
Dumb big kids.
They're going to be large with a 27 strength from
No
mom.
canny.
This is way off. Alright.
Another 6 hours.
What are we doing, man?
Total 10 hours have been into this travel, and it's been nothing. It's actually been quite pleasant. There's been some laughter, there's been some joking. It almost seems like you all are talking more without Kandrix, who talks less. Hey guys, I gotta take a 5-minute break. My
Yep.
dog is asking to go outside. Be right
All
back.
good.
Yep, sounds good. Stepping
Okay.
away as well.
I mean, all good. Brandon Sanderson in his Way of Kings series. Berserking doesn't happen like hereditarily, it's just like a random thing. So I kind of made Ursa the wood elf because the Valinor wood elves are more warlike. So they're all warriors, but every once in a while, a warrior will pop up that's just like extremely battlefield dominant. And for the first time in a long time, the father passed it down to the offspring. My father was the previous berserker, and now the current berserker is Ursa.
Just real quick, is this something you're saying to all the characters, or is this something you're just telling us? I mean, I know you're technically just telling us, but do you want to say that you're telling this to anybody else, or no?
I mean, if we're just laughing and having fun, I don't think it would hurt if Ursa gave some background, because Ursa hasn't really been forthcoming with. I haven't really been forthcoming with how I came about, my background. Everybody else, like, we know a lot about, but I've been kind of quiet because I'm a surface dweller. I don't really feel like I belong here, and I'm just kind of going along for the ride.
So yeah, you
I'm
all,
only
is
an
everybody back,
underdog.
by the way? I'm just kind of
Oh,
assuming.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, you all learn that about Ursa as Ursa just begins kind of talking about their family history and what things are like in their tribe and what life was like there, and yeah, you guys all learn a little bit of something. And then is there anything else you needed to add, Cook?
No, just berserking. It's not like a late stage thing. You learn pretty early on when your child is more than a traditional warrior. So they found out pretty early on that I was like destined to take that, because berserker's a title. There's only generally one per generation, and they're like last resort kind of things. Ursa is meant to be. I'm trying to prove to my dad that berserkers are still necessary. There's still a place in the world for that warrior spirit that overtakes you where you have nothing but bloodlust. Ursa realizes that berserkers aren't leaders, they're weapons. You point, you shoot, and you hope for the best. Ursa's trying to prove that that's still necessary in the way the world is turning. And the Underdark was her best bet at proving that. And so far, she's been right. You still need berserkers. And she's...
Seems like it. Seems like you said this is the first time that Ursa's really kind of opened up about things, and maybe, you know, the palling around and the lightheartedness and the fact that you guys haven't come across anything in a while maybe allowed Ursa to let her guard down a bit and open up a bit to you guys. And I would say, Balrin, you can definitely understand what it's like to be, you know, like a chosen one type of a template here, because, you know, you, of course, being the son of two very famous adventurers, were destined to be one yourself. Although, in Ursa's case, it sounds like her potential was seen immediately, whereas yours was a bit buried until you were more willing to take things a bit more seriously. Not to put too many words in your character's mouth, but...
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah. So I'd I'll be, for my particular situation, I really didn't. I was pushed to do this thing, and to be honest, I kind of sucked at it until I met this group and learned how to fight in a more productive way than just getting in, being raised with a hammer and being thrown in a gym against trainers. And I thought I was the best until the first battle, and then I froze. But this party, traveling with you all, has really unlocked my abilities to compete in battle.
No more Misty stepping into a group of 5 enemies.
Oh, I'm still gonna do that, but now I'm confident I'll be able
Now
to come
you have
back out.
backup.
Yes, exactly.
I'm still afraid of spiders.
I didn't know that. Why didn't you tell me?
I thought the first time we met, when I was trying to slap you off of my body violently, that was a pretty good clue.
Ethlin has been like very annoying with his use of the bat cloak, like his new toy. He wants to try it out. So like randomly around the campfire, he just hides and then appears next to someone and just starts asking stupid questions and like trying to get jumps out of people.
Well, I should ask that because I've done enough rolls now to where your group has been traveling for 14 hours. Do you want to camp? You know, to get back to Stoneholm, it's
Yeah.
going to be a couple of more days of travel. Whether you rest or not, even if you push on through, it's still going to be a couple of days.
Can we get the
Obviously,
Underdark
it'll be
map up?
less, but... Yep, give me a second here.
Mostly just because I'm over this tavern.
I hear you.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
speaking
just
of
sitting
which,
here.
I can't pull Forge up tonight. I'm gonna try to fix it later. So
Yeah.
I'm Theater of the Mind.
Sure.
Frankie, if you don't mind controlling my character
Don't mind
in
at all.
combat, if we get to that, but I'm having a great time. But I just can't get it to pull up tonight. Every other night I've been able to pull it up.
Okay, so more or less your party has gone kind of off this way because you're going back to Stoneholm, which is off the map. This road down here is the road that leads to Stoneholm, and by proxy, so does this one. This one leads to Vethin's Hold first. Anyways, long story longer, you guys are camping or not camping after 14 hours?
Yeah, let's set up camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Some sleep.
And as Mike described, Ethlin is kind of jumping around, floating around with this bat cloak that he's got, probably having a little bit more fun than you've seen him in a while.
Look, Yurden, I'm an Ahul. What are you gonna do? Fairy fire me?
I cast Dawn on them. You want me to do that to you?
I think it'd be kind of funny, but please don't.
If he keeps this up, yes, please.
Oh my
Actually,
god, you're
I've got an
Surrounded
idea.
surrounded
Natry
by
turns into
teenagers.
an actual giant bat and starts flying at Ethan or Ethlin.
Nedry, the night calls.
Squeak, squeak.
Balrin turns to Ursa and goes, "Hey, Ursa, you know how you said that the point of a Berserker was to point, shoot, and hope for the best?
correct.
I think that was Nedry's, or I think that was Kandrix's strategy too back in Vethin's Hold. He goes to give her a high five.
Ethlin flaps
Hold
his
on.
cloak and says, "Ha!"
What is mine? My intelligence is -1. I'm gonna roll for this. Hold on. See if she gets it. I rolled a 4 on the die.
That's even better.
Look, never mind.
I'll give you a high five out of pity.
Balrin like returns it, but very like ashamed.
Ethlin goes up to Balrin. He's like, "Hey, have you like been with a woman before? Like,
Well, I mean, we've been traveling with women.
yeah. How do I put this?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yes, monk. Please tell me all about the ways of love.
Actually, Ethlin has this experience.
does he?
Actually, that's why Ethlin's not in his monastery anymore.
Yeah, I'm in this situation because of. So. if
Natry,
you ever
as a
need,
bat,
like,
pops out of
first-
Balrin's beard to try and scare Ethlin.
Oh, Jesus.
Lauren's like, I
Yeah,
knew
that's
it was
my
in there.
thing. I'm the scary one right now with the cloak.
Yeah, Ethelyn, I mean, yeah, all this talk about all this, love making and all this stuff, yeah, it does make you think about your situation and why you had to leave your people and everything and what's eventually brought you to here.
Does anyone want to hear about Genethel, the reason that I kind of got kicked out?
Oh, this is a
Jordan's game.
backstory section, buddy. You got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll put the cloak away for a moment. Takes it off, puts it to the side. Well, yeah, I have mommy issues. I remember that in that one drunken moment when I cried my brains out. But she was beautiful. Remind me of mom. And yeah, I was training, and there she was on the hillside. I didn't know who her dad was at the moment. That was a big mistake, but we had just finished this mission. I had accolades from the rest of the monastery, but there she was, and I skipped out, and we got to talking, and then talking turned into other things. Right, Irden? Lots of talking. And,
Like I said, we didn't do a whole lot of talking.
Oh, yeah, right. And then we were in love, and then her dad caught me in the attic with her, and word spread, and next thing I knew, I was out of the monastery with a scroll of training and on my own. I wonder what she's doing now.
Is she also a monk?
No, she was this warlord's daughter. She was engaged, and I don't know what happened to her.
Well, if she was engaged, she's probably happily married now.
Gee, thanks, Ballard. Well, I guess that's the best case scenario, but maybe if I get out of here, I'll find out what happened to her.
Balrin puts a hand on his shoulder, and he's like, if we get out of here, I will go and help you. But I don't think we're ever going to get out of here.
That is a hopeful and a depressing thought at the same time. Thank you, Ballard.
My pleasure.
Alrin doesn't feel this. Irden feels a sense of this, but obviously the rest of them have grown up and lived on the surface, so Nadri, Ursa, Ethelyn, they're definitely all missing the surface world badly. But again, Balrin probably just can't quite understand that. He's glad to be back down in the Underdark. Like, man, that time in Revolka was shitty. How about it, guys? Right?
Yeah, you love the
And while
forest.
they're all like, would give anything to be back in Revolka right now.
What was the
Sure.
little guy's name with the big nose again? He was fun.
Who?
You guys don't remember that little wizard guy from when I've met you? What was his name? He had a big nose.
Oh yeah. Oh god, what was that guy's name? He was uppity.
Yeah.
Did I punch him?
You know what I
don't think
miss?
punched him.
Fruit.
Ah, yeah. Lemons. Just something simple. Lemons.
I miss trees.
I miss stars.
There's
Oh,
like
God. Don't say
trees.
that. Ursa's about to cry when she thinks about not being able to see starlight.
But there are
Like,
plenty
even
of...
just the feel of the breeze and the sound of the wind through leaves and stuff like that. All these things are going through your guys' heads. Feeling of warm sunlight on your skin.
Balrin starts pointing
Ursa
out all
looks
the
at
beauty.
cricket.
It's like, there might not be trees, but look at these giant mushrooms. They're, and we may not have stars, but the algae that is glowing and up on the rocks, if you squint, that kind of looks like stars. Fruit. There's plenty of things in the Underdark that produce a fruit-like thing. You don't want to eat any of them, but there is plenty down here.
There's something that looks like a lemon. I've never tasted a lemon, but there's something that looks like one. So I imagine they maybe taste the same. But I wouldn't want to eat either one.
Earden, I'm gonna find you a
Well,
lemon.
the surface didn't have everything, and she just looks at Balrin.
Aw. Ethelyn looks at those two and like, I want to puke.
And agrees.
I druid craft so that the area just smells like fresh citrus fruits.
Definitely.
Don't tease me.
That's almost as bad as missing it. But she's grateful, I think.
I think Erden smells the it would be unfamiliar to her, but like the fact that you're doing the druid magic, she kind of looks over at you because you like produced all these flowers like for Ursa and Balrin, and she's just kind of looking at you like expectantly, like you're just gonna pop up and do something like that. So she's just kind of waiting, like she's not asking for anything. She's just like looking.
Nadri is oblivious. I rolled a natural 1.
Wow. Nice wisdom bonus too.
It is
So,
gonna.
Earden, what did
Gonna.
you
Sorry.
see?
You go first, Mike, and then we'll go back to Alyssa.
Earden, what did you see in Quandra? I mean, his name sounds like something that drips from a rock. Like, it seemed kind of lame. And he was so old. So old.
It's not. He wasn't like that old for elves.
Was it the cool golden handprints on his face?
Didn't hurt. No, it was. He's spent time with us, and it's unusual to meet other drow that, well, one, that follow Elistrae, and that two, don't really have a desire to go back to Holath, but they're not the deceptive, always looking out for themselves person that I know. That's the way I was raised. It's honestly disgusting. So finding someone who, looks like me, who isn't like that, is a breath of fresh air. And it kind of let me know that I wasn't the only one out there. So I kind of didn't feel so alone.
You're not alone.
Well, no, I have you guys, but like it's nice to when your family is responsible for these atrocities and controlling other people, it's just nice to see someone that looks like you not behaving that way. So that's why I didn't feel so alone. Like the lone drow that doesn't feel the same.
Who's setting on which watch?
I'll take first watch.
Ethelyn will take first.
Me and Ethelyn.
Yeah.
Right.
The Bat
Second.
Bros.
I'll take second.
one.
Okay. Ursa and Earden on second watch. So first watch passes, nothing much happens. Is there anything specific you guys want to RP between each other while everybody's sleeping?
Nadri's just plucking at his lute. Kind of got the strings muted though, trying to learn how this thing works.
You know, Nedry, I never realized how much I like bats. Like, they're fuzzy. Like, they don't bump into things. They're really cool.
Yeah, they keep the bug population in control. Yeah,
Bugs, yeah.
very
Oh, what
useful
am I
in
eating?
nature.
Where did we find this food?
Oh, oh, how many of those did you eat? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, thank God. I can't do another trip right now. Like, maybe later, but the last one. Whew. All right, Nedry. If you had to, like, marry anyone in the party, and I know, like, you're, like, weird and, like, don't really, like, into this thing, which one would it be?
Like, I gotta spend the rest of my life with somebody in the party?
Well, if you're married, it depends on your marriage, but yeah, sure.
Hmm. Balrin. That's my best bud.
Balrin? Yeah. I guess.
What about you?
I don't know. I mean, Iridan's kind of cool. I mean, she's really bitchy, but she does put up with us.
Nadri has that, like, you know, the gif of the woman with the mathematical equations going by her. He has that moment where he's like, oh, so much of the last couple days makes sense now. Ethlyn, were you jealous?
Jealous is a strong word, but that Quadrant prick, like, he didn't even hit hard. Like, he ran away. He didn't even, like, resist when I pulled him out of the doorway and saved his life. Like, who does that, honestly? Like, not a real man. You know what I'm talking about?
I grew up alone in the woods, so no, don't know what you're talking about. Did you see how big Kendricks was? Look at me. You could probably move me pretty easily, you know?
Hey, I saw you in that fight with Kendricks. He was on the ropes. He was scared. You did a good job.
Sure, thanks. But look, I'm all about the bat wing man, you know? So
You mean like this?
here. And he Druid crafts up a bouquet of tiger lilies and hands it to you. Worked last time. And he goes back to picking his loot.
What the hell is this? Oh, the flowers.
Yeah, tiger lilies.
Getting me in the fields again. All right, I guess this is over.
They weren't for... Never mind, Ethan.
The conversation quiets as Nadri continues picking at their loot, and eventually it's time for shift change. So you guys wake up Ursa and Iridan.
Yep, I wake up Ursa.
She finds the tiger lilies next to where she was reposing.
Sorry, Wait, I'm sorry. Say it again.
Nadri just gave me tiger lilies. It took Ethlyn a while to figure it out, and then he puts them next to you before your shift
Okay,
changes. He doesn't
yeah,
take it.
I was laughing, and that's why I didn't hear it.
Oh.
I thought it just went over your head. Okay, sorry. She's actually gonna wake up, and see the flowers, because she was looking at Nadri, hopeful. She's actually gonna say, "Thank you, Nadri." Like, smell them.
Ethlyn's just gonna be like, and then he's just gonna wrap up in his back cloak, turn over, and go to sleep.
Ethlyn is hanging from a stalagmite. Upside down.
blood rushes to his head.
You think it's the
Just falls
ceiling
over.
leaking, but it's Ethlin weeping.
Oh, no.
So, as Nadri and Ethlin settle in and eventually fall to sleep, it's Ursa and Irden. If either of you have anything you want to roleplay between each other secretly.
I think Ursa and Irden are pretty close at this point.
Okay.
And you know the Underdark more than I do. I think I'm gonna ask, how long until we get to Stoneholm?
I'm just
3
like another
days.
day or 3 days. Well, I was off.
3 days.
Uh,
Assuming if you guys keep like traveling and camping at the same approximate pace, yeah, about 3 days.
about 3 days.
Okay. You have 3 days to tell me how to meet someone's parents.
Erden probably just kind of takes a moment to think about, her mom, but then I think she knows who her dad is, just because like who was around her mom at that time. Then kind of like recalls Balrin with his parents, because that's honestly the only parents I think she's met this entire trek. So I think horror comes across her face, and she's like, I tell you all sorts of things, but parents are not, I don't really have what you would call parents in my society. I remember really liking Balrin's mom. Like, she's a warrior. That's what like I respect. So honestly, if this is just weird, I really don't know, Ursa, but I think just being you and, like, she'll see that you're a badass, and from the stories I've kind of heard about the people talking about Balrin, we were in Stormholm and his parents, she's also a badass. So, like, she should recognize that. And then it's kind of sickening, but when you look at Balrin, she's gonna know you like him. So
What does
I think.
that mean?
What do you mean?
What does that mean? She's gonna know that I like him. Everybody likes Balrin, and then she just like looks over towards his, I assume, snoring body.
Snoring so hard, like just it sounds like it's scaring bats out of the cave that we're sleeping in.
And after he snores, I'm assuming, you know that like that snore you do or someone else does. Obviously, you don't know your own snores, where they like hesitate while they're snoring and then continue like full throttle. I'm assuming he does one of those, and then I look back at Iriden and go, "How can you not love him?"
Well, I love him in a different way, like friends. Also, that's also not. I'm really new to this. This is not what I grew up experiencing. Really love in any way. I was tortured for fun, and I tortured others for fun. We didn't know what that was, but whenever he says something that
you like or he thinks is special about you, you kind of change another color. Kind of the color of his beard. And then he does the same. You say something to him that he likes or that you like, he literally just changes to the whole color of his beard, and it's just all red.
So
So that's apparent to others that you like each other, you respect each other.
you have 3 days.
It's just an intimidation check because it's working.
Hold on. I got a +6 in intimidation.
Shit.
21.
Fuck. Oh, yes, ma'am. Does Nedry have parents? Because I need to like start
I was gonna say,
studying.
Airden starts trying to like gather all the knowledge ever. Like, okay, I gotta really think about this. And the same thing Neji was doing just a second ago with like all the equations floating in the air and stuff. Like, okay.
Like, my family tried to kill me. I don't know how to help.
No, but Nadri does roll over and go, by the gods, and cast silence over Balrin.
That's it for me.
Thank you, Nedry.
Ethelyn wakes
That's
up
it for me.
freaking out. He thinks he went deaf.
And the conversation slowly dies down. And eventually the rest comes to a conclusion. Everybody can update their sheets for a long rest. And we will continue with our travel. As you guys begin walking along, maybe for about the first half hour or so, the day starts off much as the day before ended, with you all a bit jovial, joking around. You begin to hear a rumbling. At first, maybe it sounds something like Balrin's snoring, but soon realize that it's definitely not when you can start to feel the ground quake beneath your feet. Not quite sure what's going on. Can I get everybody to roll a knowledge nature check, DC 14?
I have advantage because I would think I know what it is.
Yes.
16 for me.
14.
Dirty 20.
It's on the first one. Let's try again. That's a 24.
12. Ethelyn has no idea, but he's like
Ethlyn's
starting to
not
look
sure.
rough,
He
like,
feels the ground shaking. Yeah, he's pretty nervous though. He's worried. Everybody else, you get the strong sense that maybe at first you thought it was a large creature or something, but no, this seemed to be some type of tremor or earthquake that's happening. What are you guys gonna do? Are you gonna stay put, or are you gonna try to move forward to a different location?
Does it look like
Where
we're
are-
in danger of falling rocks or anything?
You would assume that anywhere in the Underdark you're in danger of falling rocks and potentially creatures being disturbed from the earthquake itself.
Okay,
As you're
this
looking
is-
around where you're at, you're in an area that is more tunnel-like. You have like, you know, rocks and stuff hanging from the ceiling, but not like, you know, in those 50-foot caverns where they're like 10 foot tall. Like that or anything, but the ground is shaking more and more, and you can start to see chunks coming loose and debris beginning to fall.
This isn't the first time we felt a tremor.
No, let's get moving though. Let's.
I'd say we pick up our pace a little bit.
Yeah, let's pack up camp and get the fuck on.
You guys have definitely already packed up camp, so you just begin moving at
Okay.
a quicker pace. First things first, can I get a survival roll from whoever is leading the group?
I think we
do it.
decided Nadri was doing it, and I was behind him to help because I had better dark vision the last
Okay, so
couple times.
first roll is a 12, and the second roll is a 12.
All right.
Right.
So Nadri begins running through the tunnel, rushing forward, and there's a fork in it. And Nadri thinks, okay, go right. That's the way we need to go to Stoneholm. And Bearden doesn't contradict him. Begins going right. She follows. The rest of the group follows behind. Earth begins rumbling more and more. The sound becomes almost deafening. And I'd like everybody to make a dexterity roll. DC 16.
A save or just straight dex roll?
Let's
there's-
make this
there's a
one
save
actually.
for
Let's
me.
make this an save. Yeah, dexterity save. DC 16.
Because it's a save, I have to ask: is this something that I can see coming, or is this like from the tremors?
It's from the tremors. If it's something you have to visually see, I guess you can't like. I don't know how to describe if you're visually seeing an earthquake, but you could deduce that at some point during an earthquake, you may need to keep your balance. If that helps to answer your question.
Well, Danger Sense specifically says I get an advantage on dex saves if I can see it coming. So I don't get advantage on this one.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay. I rolled a 4.
Oh no,
Seven.
I did well. 16.
6.
11.
All right. So it looks like, what was it? Ethlyn made it, and Ursa was the other 16, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So we have Irden, Alrin, and Nadri fall prone. Let me
Awesome.
just do this really quick too. And I'm gonna say Edmund also falls prone.
And I hate to do this, but role playing wise, is it possible for me to reach out to grab Balrin, or would I also fall if I tried to like grab him as this was happening?
Now comes the time for that choice. The tunnel you're in, and I'll say it's about 10 feet wide, maybe like 12 feet tall. You're running through, and yeah, you see 4 of your party members fall, Balrin included. Ursa and Ethlyn, it's up to you guys if you want to keep moving or if you want to stop and try to help them up. The rest of you, you're prone, so I'd imagine you're probably going to try to get up with this next round of action that happens.
Ethlyn's gonna stop
I'm-
and try to help Bearden up.
And
Okay.
Ursa is definitely helping Balrin. Sorry,
Okay.
Adri.
No
that's
problem at
fine.
all.
I will use half my movement to get up, and then bonus action call out my wings, so that I can kind of fly above this and not be getting shook by the tremors.
Yeah, I get what you mean,
Nice.
like kind of hover above the ground and
Yeah.
fly, so we're, perfect. Okay. And then, Edmund. Edmund is going to get up and continue running. Alright, so we're going to need dexterity saving rolls again from everybody except for Nadri, who is now flying. And this one is going to be a DC 18 as the ground seems to shake harder and harder as you guys rush through this tunnel.
21.
20.
16.
Alright.
11.
So this time, Ursa, Alrin, and Edmund fall. Nadri, are you gonna fly back and help anybody?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back, and whichever one was closer to me, which I think was Irden.
I'm up, so
Irden
I'm
made
on.
it.
Yeah,
Irden and
Oh,
Ethlyn
okay.
made it.
So, Balrin.
Alright. So
Sorry,
Nadri goes
Ursa.
and helps his best bud Balrin. And then Ethlyn, Irden, do you both go back and help anybody?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll
whoever's
Alright, so-
closest to me.
Sure. So Ursa and Edmund are both helped up. And you guys can see an exit coming up ahead. We're going to do one last dexterity saving roll. This one's going to be another DC 18.
Irden, take advantage because I'm kind of flying behind you to catch you if you fall again.
I got 21 this time without advantage, so I'll keep
Okay.
that one.
11.
14. Balrin's just falling down all over the place.
He
Aren't
doesn't
you
have fart
from here, man? On your feet.
All right.
My
So-
armor is heavy.
I
The
cast
group
fly
rushes
on
through. Excuse me, sorry. So here's what's gonna happen. After that last round of saving rolls, you guys reach the edge of what you think is the end of this tunnel, and it opens up into a cavern that is about 30 feet tall, and it's about a 5-foot drop to get into there. Wide, about 100 feet wide, maybe bigger. You're not exactly sure. How far back it goes, you can't tell. You can't see the end of it. Even with Irden's 120 feet dark vision, she can't see the end of it quite yet. But it's a very big, wide open space. And as you first jump in there, let's see, Nadri flies through. Ursa stumbles as she goes through and rolls to the ground. It's only a 5-foot drop down, so there's no damage taken there. Irden just jumps through, no problem, lands on her feet, keeps running, and same thing with Ethlin, right behind Irden, and sorry, Ursa and Nadri.
Yeah.
Ulrin and Edmund stumble and fall short of the exit of the cave, and rocks fall in front of them, separating the party into 2 different groups. Ulrin and Edmund failed all their saves, and because they were slowed down so much, they weren't able to get out before rocks caved in on them, closing off the tunnel. Within another 30 to 40 seconds, tremor dies down, and then within another 30 seconds after that, Earth is done quaking. Ulrin, you're laying prone on the ground. You open your eyes. A couple of rocks have fallen on you, but you're okay. Edmund as well. You help each other up, dust each other off, and you see that you've been caved in. Looking back the other direction, it looks like you can go back if you want to, or you can try to start digging yourself out in the front here. You don't know how many rocks you're going to have to dig through to get to the other side.
First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my Horn of Silent Alarm, which just allows me to, it's basically like a weird message spell. And I'm going to tell Ursa, it's like, Edmund and I are okay. We're going to try to dig our way through.
Can I respond?
No, unfortunately not with this one.
Okay.
So, question. Is any one of those rocks like huge?
It looks like it's mostly like debris chunks and things like that, so I would say like there's probably no rock that you can see that's bigger than maybe like an average human-sized torso.
I was trying to figure out how to use levitate to kind of like move a heavy rock out of the way, but if it's like dust, that will not work.
It's not all dust, but if you can only target one rock, it would be tedious to have to do it. And then levitate only
Yeah.
allows it to go up and down. It doesn't allow it to necessarily move, I don't think.
I think they can't
Maybe.
as if it's hold on, it was something.
Okay.
Target moon move only by pushing or pulling against a fixed object. What I was thinking, like if it was something I could like pull against it, and if it's levitated, then it wouldn't weigh that much, and so I could like pull it out of the way.
I can agree with that. You can begin to levitate things if you're willing to spend whatever resource it costs you.
Hoping for one big rock because I can use it once for free as a drow. But I will definitely, as long as it'll help something, then yeah, I will levitate like the biggest thing I can see to get it out of the way.
Okay. So you levitate a big rock that you can see and pull it out of the way. Rest of you, do you begin digging?
I've got my force staff. Could I do push anything out of the way with 3d6 of force damage?
Cook's gonna step away for a moment and be right back, but we'll just continue on in the meantime. You can try doing some damage to these rocks.
Okay.
Go ahead, and I'm not gonna make you roll a hit because the rocks are pretty damn stationary and it's a huge pile of them. So it's almost like attacking a swarm. I mean, you're really not gonna miss this thing. Just go ahead and roll me the 3d6 of the force damage.
Okay. Oh, I just rolled the bludgeon. Let me do
Yeah,
another
that too.
3d6.
That too.
So I did 11 bludgeon and another 11 of force.
Alright, so you definitely knock and clear some rocks out of the way. You can see that there's still plenty of rocks packed in behind it. You're not sure how far deep it's gonna go.
Balrin, can you hear me?
You shout through. Alrin, give me a perception check. This one's gonna be DC 16.
18.
Edmund does not hear. Sorry, what'd you get?
18.
Okay, so you can just barely hear through the rubble Ethlin calling out.
Hey, Irden and I are okay. Are you guys all right?
We're okay. I'm yelling. We're okay. I'm gonna try to get out of here. We're just gonna start digging. And I turn to Edmund.
18 perception for anybody on the other side to hear what Balrin just said.
18.
Yeah, 18 perception.
Oh, I was so close to a 20. Didn't hear
Nope.
anything. 6.
I got a natural 1. Total of 6, I think.
Okay, well, depending
Yes,
on what Alyssa rolls, but yeah, you guys are
11.
having a hard time hearing Balrin. There's more noise coming from the area that you're in behind you than there is noise in the area that Balrin and not Kendrix, Edmund are in. But Balrin looks to Edmund and
So I look at Edmund. I'm gonna need you to do something with it this time. I cast haste on Edmund. Help get through these rocks, and then I just start going to town with my hammer.
okay, how about you do this? Roll me an athletics check here, and we're gonna do it's gonna be a DC 15, but if you can get higher than 15, better things could happen.
30-20.
Okay. So you and Edmund begin grabbing at rocks and pulling them away, and he's actually keeping pace with you, which you find to be pretty incredible because you've done this type of work before, clearing rocks, breaking them up, moving things. This is, it's tough work, but this is nothing that you're not accustomed to. Edmund, surface dweller, this haste is doing something good for him. As you guys are clearing rocks, it seems like the more you clear, the more there are, but you're definitely making progress, stacking everything up onto the side so that you're making yourself at least a narrow tunnel to get through once you actually finish once you finish pulling them all aside. And then from the other side, what are the rest of you guys doing?
I would like to summon an earth elemental to start just getting rid of the rocks.
I'm hammering.
I'm going to, because both Ethlin and Ursa can do like force damage and stuff, right?
Yes.
Would haste help
Believe
both
so.
of you?
Nice. Yeah.
But so I'm gonna twin haste on both of them, and then I'm going to like use my mage hand to kind of like whatever debris Ethlin and so like break down. I'm gonna try to, because it can only get like 10 pounds, but it's gonna like help move crap out of the way.
Ethan says,
So
"Don't
an
break
earth
a nail."
elemental does double damage to objects and structures, so
Mhm.
that would help,
I'm
right?
looking at that, yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm
So
just
the
gonna
earth.
rage
Okay.
and start hammering rocks into pebbles if I can.
I've got an 8 strength. I'm useless, so this elemental can do it.
The elemental can definitely do it for you. Okay. Let me just have this. Let me have everybody roll me an athletics check of DC 15. You're doing the things that you're doing, but representative of that, we'll fold it into an athletics check.
15.
22.
Irden got a 15.
I got a 28.
It's a 16 for the elemental.
See that? Awesome. Alright. Yeah, you guys begin clearing the way. You guys have been rolling pretty good. I don't see any reason to keep doing check after check after check. Within about an hour's time, you guys are able to clear enough rocks out of the way for them both to get through, and everybody reunites, gets back together. Everybody checks up on one another, you're all good. And the earthquake has ended, but now you find yourself in a quite large cavern from what you can tell, maybe about 100 feet wide across, about 30 feet top to bottom, and it goes quite far back. Your eyes now adjusting to the new area and everything, you can see there is some areas of iridescent fungus and things like that, but much of that has been covered over with rocks and debris from the earthquake. You also can hear running water. You can't see it quite yet.
Okay.
Are we back by the dragon?
You know, you're not. That is out the back way of Embla, and you've kind of already gone past the offshoot you would have need to go that direction. This is an area
Okay.
where, especially since this earthquake has just happened, you're not quite sure if you've been here or not. It looks changed if you have been.
Ah.
Perhaps that running water leads to that lake. Be something.
Go visit your bestie.
It does
That's-
definitely sound like it's more than some water trickling down the rocks. It sounds like a good flow of running water.
Can I do? It's not going to be an investigation check. It's probably going to be a perception check. I just want to see which direction the water is coming from and probably start heading that way.
It's from in front of where the party is. You can
Yeah,
hear it, you
keep
just
moving
can't quite
forward.
see it yet. So you guys just continue moving forward.
I've got the
All right.
elemental like 20 feet in front of us. I've got him for the next 8 hours, so.
Okay. Elemental walking in front of you is mostly clearing the
Or 1
way
hour. Sorry, 1 hour.
of any would-be enemies that you may or may not know of here. You eventually, within moving maybe 300 feet forward, can see another 50 feet ahead of you stream. The stream itself is maybe a foot to 2 feet wide, and the water seems to be rushing at a very rapid pace.
Can I do a history check or anything that
Try a
would?
nature check.
Okay.
So nature check DC 15. Anybody can try this.
Yeah. Nope. 2.
Nature.
I didn't even get it.
9.
14.
What about Balrin?
12.
Edmund posits that once again, perhaps it's raining quite a bit on the surface, and this is just runoff from that, or maybe the earthquake has opened up a new fissure or stream of water that wasn't here before.
The ecosystem evolves. Such is the way of the natural force.
Is that a common thing?
Nature's always evolving, adapting.
I mean,
It
like,
evolved
is it
fast.
common for after the whole crystal shit started, or like, was this happening beforehand where earthquakes would happen and things like this?
Earthquakes have always been a part of nature. Frequency, it doesn't seem like they're any more or less frequent from the time of all this happening.
Okay.
You
Your
never know, right?
brain works differently than mine, because mine didn't even go there. I forgot
Sneaky
Holoth
drow.
existed like 3 weeks ago.
So I would say we kind of want to proceed with caution just because if it opened up, like he said, if this is a new like fissure, then we've probably woke up some pissed off animal. I'd just say like cautious.
New plan. We spend the next 6 months to a year digging a trench towards Holoth from all the water sources, and we just flood them out.
I think rituals are a little faster than that. Out of context, the last time to the DM, right? The last time we saw a tremor like this was a purple worm, right?
Believe so. That or a
There
There was
Remember
Remnant
also
has.
a bullet or two, I think we fought.
Oh, that's great.
We got separated, and it was the purple worm.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
the
right.
last time we got separated specifically was a purple worm.
And that's when we ran into the shit monster.
Yeah, that's
I
why I
missed that
remember
session.
that fucking session.
Yeah, I missed the shit monster.
Yeah, now I do.
I was on vacation with the family.
Memories were had by all. Some weren't the same as others.
I think we just got to press forward, guys, as fast as we fucking can.
Agreed.
Yeah, might be ropers. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not doing that shit again.
no more
Okay, so you guys are gonna travel, but kind of pick up the pace a bit.
Yeah.
I think
Be
it's
like
very
wary,
simple,
yeah.
Quicker we get there, the quicker my mom will know what to do.
Mama's
And the
boy.
quicker I get
Mama's
to meet
boy.
Yeah, he's gonna drop off his laundry. Alright, let's get that survival check from Nadri with advantage from Irden helping him out. His DC is gonna be 18. Terrain's a little bit different. You guys have picked up your pace.
19.
You're trying to stay ahead of the game. Adrian Irden are able to pick up the old trail quickly, and you realize, yes, you are going the right way. You have gone the right way. Things are looking different, but you're able to find enough familiar landmarks to realize you are traveling somewhere or traveling a road that you've traveled before.
I think anytime we have like where it's like safe to do so, Irden's probably going to be back with Balrin, since like, Ursa terrified her. It's gonna be like, so tell me about your mom. You know, how do you impress her? Things like that, so I can then tell Ursa.
Oh, she loves arm wrestling. She loves stories of combat, and also she likes a good cup of tea.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I got the tea covered.
3 out of 3 is excellent.
Nedry, don't drug the bridal party.
That ain't even what I meant.
You know what you meant.
Mushroom tea or like surface stuff tea?
I can do tea leaves.
Well, we don't have a lot of tea leaves in the Underdark, so it's usually,
Adri starts
subsequent-
druid crafting tea leaves like dollar bills in the strip club just right off the palm.
Always have
Awesome.
like the safe mushroom tea as like backup in case she's like, I don't like this fancy shit.
In case Ursa loses an arm wrestling match.
Doubt it.
Me
She is
too.
incredibly strong.
With Ursa Hasted.
You know,
Wanna
I'm
help my
actually kind
girl.
of upset. We had our run of that tavern and didn't swipe the top shelf stuff. Like, what were we thinking?
I blame Balrin with this whole crusade to save the Underdark.
Hey, listen, it's only been like 4 days since Balrin. In game, it's only been like 4 days since Balrin was like, I don't think we're ready to go to Holoth yet. So you're telling me in 4 days, now we're ready?
No, but I know sitting in a tavern in Bethan's Hold was not going to get us ready, so we had to get somewhere and do something.
I'm ready to storm the
It's the
city.
baby
You guys
shower.
just let me know. I can breach.
Yes. Yes, he can.
Hasted T-Rex.
Essayons.
Hasted Triceratops with the charge would be even better.
Here we go.
I'll pause the game. I don't know why I even have it paused. Not that it really matters. We're not moving around. All right. So you guys have traveled for about another 6 hours. It's been a rushed travel, but you've been going the right direction pretty much the entire time. And it comes to a point where you do begin to feel, once again, a bit of a rumbling in the ground, although this time it's very evident that it is a creature emerging. See, maybe about 40 feet ahead of the party, a bullet emerge from the ground, and behind it, it's chased by this big ass, well, I guess not big ass, it's medium sized, but a slug that, I put it on the map, it's quite tiny. It's going to be right next to the party token. I'm gonna move it right now. I'm going to end the session right there before the combat begins, because I don't want to start doing a combat when it's this close to, well, it's after midnight for you, Frankie.
Yeah, it is.
So we'll call it there until next session. You guys are continuing your way to Stoneholm, and you're going to encounter a bullet being chased by a car's slug, which I'll drop a little bit of info for you throughout the week. In the Discord, stuff Earden will be able to tell you really quickly before you roll initiative.
Sweet.
All right. With that, we'll move it on into our Stars and Wishes portion. Let's start with you, Mike. Stars or Wishes?
Oh man, so many stars. Really good role play. Man, it was just a really good session. It was a really stressful week, and this is like the perfect way to end the week. So I'm very grateful for that. Really grateful for you guys. Any other stars? Good role play. It was good. Like even without any combat, we had fun. We just enjoyed each other's company, and that was really cool. I think that's something that gets missed a lot on D&D. The dynamics of the earthquake was really well done. I really appreciated that. That was fun. Wishes, no real wishes. I'm just glad that you messaged me and we were able to make those changes for the party. I think it worked really well. I don't know how Candrix is going to handle being a dad. I don't know how it works with dragonborns and gestation and stuff. We'll have to figure that out. Thanks to Baldur's Gate, I know they don't just have cloacas, so that's good. But yeah, that's it.
Great. All right, let's move on to Cook. What have you got for us, Stars or Wishes?
Just to piggyback and not to give Frankie more fucking ammo than he fucking needs. Another non-combat session that I was extremely happy with. As
There it
the
is.
group- Yep. As the group's combat player, I had a great fucking time. I feel like I'm getting more and more into role play as a player. Everything was super duper fun. The romance plot line is moving forward. We've been trying to get Stoneholm for I missed last week, but now 3 sessions. When we get there, we'll get there. And in the meantime, I'm having a great fucking time. I've got no wishes. Party's been going smooth. All the player characters are doing what the fuck they're supposed to be doing. I'm having a great time. So stars to everybody. Stars specifically this week to Nick for running our game and just letting us do whatever the fuck we feel like doing week in and week out.
Cool, Frankie, you're next. Stars or wishes?
Yeah, stars to everybody for the great role play tonight. Ethlyn, the storming off thing, I'm really glad I got to be a part of that. That was pretty cool. So glad I decided to insight check that, but I could just hear it in the way that you said that you were leaving. I was like, yeah, something's up there. And the party being a bunch of horny teenagers and I'm just like the old guy around. It's funny. It's great. It's fun to play. Wishes, just that Scott can make it next week and we can have everybody here.
All right, awesome. Max, you're next.
Yeah, fantastic role play all around. Really loved this session. We were just totally carefree, kind of doing stuff. The Azura pregnancy reveal was incredible and absolutely blew my mind. That was absolutely fantastic. And then everything was just good tonight. It was nice. It was carefree. Everybody had a good time. My only wish is that I wasn't. I'm actually glad you called it here because I spent about 2 hours a day playing basketball with my sailors who are all less than half my age, and I am sore and tired, and I don't feel well. And I was getting close to tapping out anyway. So, my only wish is that I wish I hadn't done any of that. So, yeah, awesome job.
Alyssa, stars or wishes?
Stars. This is like, even though we lost sort of an NPC and then I guess we're now an honorary half NPC. Even like of setting those people aside and stuff like that, it actually worked. Like the dynamic in the party, it works. I think also that's the most we've ever gotten Ethlyn to like role play. So that was kind of nice, like getting to know that character as far as that and stuff. And then so my only wish is like give Airden a break because like seriously knows nothing about good parental units, knows nothing about healthy relationships. Like, she's all learning this for the first time that it's even possible to have a healthy relationship. Or, I don't know, parents that don't try to kill you. Like, it's sort, and then, like, friends and stuff that aren't lying and backstabbing. So, looking to her as this guide to anything, oh, that's a dangerous road. No, but I loved it. It's a good session.
All right, well, yeah, stars to all of you guys for some definitely heavy lifting with the role play this session. There was a lot of, especially getting to Ursa and Ethlyn a little bit was really nice to delve into those characters' backstories a bit more and learn a bit more about their motivations, things like that. That was really cool. Frankie, I'm going to throw a star your way for streaming this one. That was a cool experience. I really don't usually stream my games. Thank you to Frankie's audience for joining us. That was really awesome. But yeah, stars to everybody for the really good role play this session. Stars to everybody for putting up with another non-combat session. Guaranteed combat next session because we're going to start off with it. And I'm really looking forward to, I guess we'll throw this in the wishes category, really looking forward to you guys making it to Stoneholm, having the meeting of Ursa and the Merry Cloak clan, And then from there, figuring out how you guys are going to deal with the whole Holhoth situation. And that will be the time when you guys will level up. So I'm looking forward to hopefully doing all that next session. And just to echo what Frankie said too, wishing that everybody will be here for the next session, because that'll be a great time to do all that stuff and discuss the group's plans going forward. That's all I've got. If anybody needs to go, I'll set you free now. Once again for the stream, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks everybody who came. And we'll see you next time. Actually, tomorrow night. Later.